All right. How is everybody? Good to have you on here. I'm Trinity Van Den Aker. I think my light is too high. Get that down a little bit. There we go. All right. I don't know how long I'll keep this live feed going. I just thought I would jump on here this evening. Lots of things have been happening as far as my channel. I wanted you to know that it is me here. This is me, I think. I think I'm finally back. So for those of you who don't know, 2 weeks ago, my entire Google account was hacked. So they had control of my YouTube channel and my Facebook, or my YouTube channel and my Google account, my email and everything, bank accounts and all kinds of stuff for a whole week. So I finally was able to get Google to work with Google to get it back, but it took me 7 days. So I have no idea what I have left here. So yeah, glad to see you guys. Glad you're on here. Welcome to the chat. Glad you guys could make it. So basically this is just going, hello, how you doing, Haste? I enjoyed the podcast we did. Yeah, everything is doing a little bit better, a lot of bit better actually. I'm back with you here on my channel, so that's a good thing. Wasn't going very well there for a while, so I'm going to share kind of what happened and then how I got it fixed, how I got my channel back. I got completely hacked and totally hacked, and then was able to get it back, but it has taken forever and really has it really hindered me a lot there. And I'm not sure, it might hinder me a lot more. I mean, I definitely have some ground to make up now, because when it was hacked, when the channel was hacked, they completely shut down my account. So my Google account. So when they shut down your Google account and then you restart it, they restarted it for me once they determined that I was indeed hacked. It doesn't help though, because you lose all your views. It just, all your videos are lost out of the algorithm, everything. So anyway, I'm going to get started here. So in your email, when you're making videos on YouTube, you get a lot of people who email you about wanting to promote their product. So lots of times you'll get emails from people that say, hey, just wanted to see what your prices are. I want you to promote this product. What's your prices? And they'll give you some kind of data or something that you look at. Well, I saw one of those, and it was in an email, and I understand how to watch for hackers, but when the real problem is that when you have a lot going on or you're very stressed. I was very stressed. I was getting ready to go on vacation, so I was not thinking about anything. I went through it. I like, yeah, I probably should check with these guys. So I said, I clicked on the PDF and clicked on the little button on the PDF without checking the email. Now, normally what I would do is click on the drop down to see who is sending the email, because if the email address at the end doesn't match the company they say they're from, it's not, it's a spam deal. Well, I didn't do that this one time. I was in a hurry. I was stressed out because I was trying to make a whole bunch of videos before I went on vacation and edit them and everything. And then I clicked on this thing, and somehow that what I clicked on in my laptop sent. I saw something pop up right away, and I was like, oh crap, that was bad. So I then checked the email address, and and found out, yes, uh, this is not the right thing. Do I consider myself emotional? Uh, yeah, I'm emotional, I guess. I used to be more emotional, and I'll get to that in a minute. I used to be more emotional than this, but so I thought, "Oh shoot, this is not what it said it was." So I deleted whatever it was from my computer. I immediately went on to my Google accounts, and the only thing I didn't do was, now that I understand it kind of more, I think I know what I could have done. I think. I'm not going to guarantee it, but I think I know what I could have done. What I did is I went and checked all my security settings instead of changing my password and logging everything out. I should have logged everything out that was logged in and then changed my passwords on my main accounts. But I didn't do that. I went to sleep and I woke up at 5 o'clock because I was in the morning. I was kind of worried. I was thinking, oh, shoot, I should check that. And I picked it up, picked my phone up, and sure enough, I couldn't get into my email. So, or my bank account. My bank account, I couldn't get into it either. So I ran outside. I went to every account that I could, and I changed the passwords and changed, of course, lots of stuff we rely on. What I really found out is how much we rely on an email to actually verify your identity. So so when you are verifying your identity with somebody, you call your bank and they're like, "Well, let me send you an email to verify your identity." I'm like, "You can't because that email is gone. It's under somebody else's control." So that was a big deal. Credit cards, bank accounts, everything. That was a miserable day. All day long was just calling people and making sure I could still get into things, changing the emails on everything, and then try to figure out, after that day, try to figure out how to get to YouTube so I could actually start the process of getting it back. So it was, yeah, it was a mess. It was absolutely a mess. I ran down at the moment my bank opened. I ran down and closed my online banking. Called both of my credit cards, closed all the online access to those. Um, you had to just clamp down everything. Called the credit bureaus, told them, because my social security number was compromised, so it was like a big deal. So I was going on vacation 2 days later, and I did go on vacation. I was like, I can't do anything here. I had service sometimes where I was, so all I did was just, I found out how to contact Google, and the only way you can actually contact Google is on Twitter. You have to tag YouTube, and then the team YouTube actually contacts you back. And when you contact them back, then they'll finally message you if they actually think that, if you can prove to them that you are the person who should own that account. That's the problem, is you have to be able to prove that you did own that account. And if the person has enough information, they can almost do it too. Although they were in Ukraine or Russia or something. So it took 7 days of back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. There was a YouTuber, Peter Santinello, who tried to help me out with his person at YouTube or Google, and it just didn't. It's a very slow, frustrating process. You email or message them, and you wait, 12 hours to get a response back. Like, here's the next step. Try this. And I try the same thing, 50 times while I'm watching these people who have hacked into my account try to hack every single thing in my life, because they had access to my email. So they were just trying to reset passwords, and everything was ridiculous. So it was really bad. No, it didn't help the stress. The stress went way up. And besides the fact, so part of the stress is, when I started this year, I thought, I'm going to go full time with social media. I'm going to do this full time. I see a need for being helping rural America, and helping people understand that rural America is important to them, even though they don't realize it. People complain that cows are in their yard. People complain because there's cow crap on the trail, and instead of instead of actually realizing what rural America does, that's where their food comes from, and that's why they when you know public land is utilized for agriculture. It's actually a benefit to the public land for food and to the land, the grass and everything. So this is a real issue that needs to be addressed. So because of that, I was going to go full time, and then this is what happened, guys. I feel like such an idiot sharing with with this guy. I mean, I can't even talk. It's sorry, it's evening. Had a long day. Um. Anyway, I can't even. I feel kind of stupid about this, but deciding to go full time, I figured between Facebook and YouTube, I would actually um, be able to go full time. But in March, my Facebook account was hacked and they stole my Facebook page. So they took the Facebook page, which had 285,000 followers. And that Facebook then helped me get my account back, but not my page. So I never got those 285,000 followers back. Had to start from scratch. Because I started from scratch, um, I can't get any monetization off that. Even though I have 22,000 now followers on my new page that I just started. If and this is the weird part. This my page that was hacked from Facebook is still out there being used by the hackers. It's called Life in the USA. And Facebook will not give it back to me, even though I've contacted them many times because they hacked it. So if I would have lost it by accident, they would help me. But because somebody stole it, then they won't help me. So I'm like, what sense does that make? But anyway, so then I started a new page and I have 22,000 on it now in 2 months, but I can't get it monetized because the content I'm posting, a lot of it is actually content from the old page. Even though it's deleted, it shows on the new page that it's not new content. So they're not I've talked to them a few times. They're like, well, you just post more content. I'm like, oh my goodness, it's my content. But anyway, then this YouTube thing happened. At least Google was willing, even though it was a very slow process, Google was willing to help me get my account back and reset everything. The real problem with that is now um, my Google account has been completely taken down and then reset and put back up. So because because the YouTube algorithm kind of has hold of your videos. It's like, okay, these videos get served to these people, and I was getting about 70,000 views a month or a day. I'm sorry, 40 to 70,000 views a day, just from all my videos. Then because the hackers took it and put a whole bunch of Tesla crap on there, it got taken down by Google. So when I get it back, they had to put it back up as new, and then I had to change all of the visibility on all my videos, so it's like they're new again. And so the videos that are new, so I'm not getting none of the views. I mean, I'm getting barely anything. So basically, I went from starting this year, I'm going to go full time, and so I dropped all the rest of my income making opportunities and went full time basically. And now I have lost 95% of my income. So that is not good. But I don't really know I'm not really sure what I'm going to do now. I'm going to have to figure out a different way to make money and continue to do what I'm doing on YouTube and Facebook. So did they delete all the Yeah. So the people who hacked my Facebook page deleted everything. They deleted all my content. They deleted all the pictures and everything. And now they just use it as if it's theirs. So they've lost over 10,000 of my followers, obviously, because they don't post the same stuff. But the people on that page don't even believe that it's been stolen from me because obviously it shows it's somebody else. So they have literally asked or taken away a Google page or I mean a Facebook page. Man alive, man, my words are just all over the place tonight. Sorry. I thought about talking to a lawyer. I thought since I lost the Facebook page, I would just focus all my attention on YouTube, and or 90% of my focus on YouTube. And then now I lost my YouTube. So hopefully I can get back some of the stuff. YouTube is monetized. Um, so YouTube is still monetized. They're just not getting any views on everything. So I'm going to start posting again. Um, and I put on my website lifeinthewest.com. If anybody wants to check that out, go to lifeinthewest.com and you can help out there. But other than that, I'm just going to have to start posting a lot of content and hope that YouTube picks it up and it doesn't act like a new channel again where it takes me 6 months to grow those views up. That will be really bad. So I hope so, buddy. Somebody said that the views come back up. So it wasn't it wasn't really that I used a non-strong password though. So this is the problem, is that whatever I clicked on in that email, it actually went in and collected the data for the session I was in. So they could literally log in. They had to be able to log into my Google account without logging in, because then I would have got notified. I have two-step verification. I've got, recovery stuff and everything. All that they changed overnight. So anyway, yeah, thanks, Denise. I appreciate it. I just wanted to come on here tonight and kind of share with, some people that were on here what I'm doing, why I was gone for a couple weeks, what happened there. I was gone in. I grew up in Kalispell. Okay, I was just up there. Yeah, because the whole people click on everything on Facebook. Yeah, I can't believe it. It's just one of those things. I'm a fairly techie person, and now that it's happened to me, I'm talking to a few people on YouTube that it's happened to them too. Same email, same thing, same guys. It's just annoying that there's so many thieves that are out there that will do this kind of stuff. So, I mean, totally steal your income and everything. So, yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Teresa. So, I'm focusing a lot on what, rural America, what they produce, what they give you, what the benefit is to the normal people. And I'm hoping that is something that you guys are interested in. You guys will have to let me know. I'll put some, what are they called? And I can't think at all. Yeah. Yeah, your package could not be delivered. That's a good one. That happens all the time. Hey, thanks for the prayers. Thank you so much for the prayers. Yeah, it's an attack on. I really, one of the things I felt over the course of my vacation was that it brought me back to the realization of how temporary what we think is secure really is in our lives. The things that we put importance on, like money and security, really aren't that important. I mean, they can be taken away from us very, very quickly. So it does make you reflect on what's important, where you're going to spend your time, how you're going to diversify, but also not put your whole faith in what you get here on earth, because it all goes away, man, and it can be taken away really, really quickly. Yeah, I appreciate it. I don't have plans to give up. I have to figure out how to make income that I don't how to make income back that I don't have any of right now. So we'll see how it goes, but I'm working on it. I'm going to work on some stuff tomorrow. I just got back, so I'm kind of I changed laptops, just got rid of that one because I can't. Every time I got on that laptop now, I'm just panicked like crazy. So anyway, and also I'm going to separate out my channels a little bit. So I'm going to make two channels, at least two, probably three. I'm going to have a podcast channel now. I've taken all my interview content, and when I do an interview, I have tons of content about talking about all kinds of stuff that doesn't make it in the video because it just be too long. So I made those into podcast length uh, videos, and I'm going to put those on the podcast channel, and then I'm going to make a channel that's just the cowboy stuff with me and Calabar, so that it's separate, so it's not the same. That way people that are looking for this style of video can find it here, and the people that want to watch me cowboy on Calabar can go to the other channel. So, or vlog stuff, high country fishing, Montana things, adventures, things like that on the other channel. So, absolutely. Amen to that, Firefly. Yeah, I know it. That's the problem with with banking and everything. It seems like so secure in a way. They it's so big and they're so powerful. They should be secure, but really, when somebody gets enough information that they can pretend to be you, then they can do whatever they want. So that's the real issue. Yeah, Calabar is a cool horse, and he's doing really well. But and I have several videos that are coming from Calabar this year. I just hadn't got them done. I was going to post some of them while I was on vacation, but of course that didn't happen because I was freaking out the whole vacation. And one channel is better. So build different audience on multiple Twitter accounts. No, I will notify you guys and probably do another live stream. I'll probably try to do a few live streams this week just to kind of catch you up on what I'm doing, what I separated out, what I haven't, and then I'll connect the channels so you can go to what content that you want from my homepage there, so you don't have to look for it everywhere. Huh? Can't hit the thumbs up, huh? I haven't seen any thumbs up. That's weird. Wonder what I have turned. Everything is reset. So, oh, well, I appreciate that, Tina. I hope that I can be of help to you because it's very important to understand what's happening with rural America, and it's not something that most people understand, especially people who live in cities. They don't realize where all that stuff comes from. I mean, they kind of in the back of their mind kind of do, but not really. So when you get in depth about what's happening and how that kind of stuff really works, it can really be an eye opener for a lot of people. It's up on top of your name. Oh, okay. So for those of you that want to find it, it's up on top of my name. If you want to hit the like button, that would be awesome. Yeah, because some of my videos are probably, I mean, my podcast videos are probably an hour and a half, 2 hours long. So, and if you guys want to know when I'm live and everything, I have, um, I started a community because after Facebook got taken away from me, I started a community that's completely off of all this stuff. So, yeah, if you're on the phone, right. Um, so go to lifeinthewest.com and you can click on the community button there and go join that community. It's going to be free until August 15th. So go join it right away. And then if you join that, then I post in there quite often, and I'll also say I'll show every video that I post in there. I'll connect to it, share a link with it in my community. Also post when I'm live, what I'm up to, that kind of stuff in there. So if you go to lifeinthewest.com, you can find that. You're banned off Facebook. Well, I don't think it's that hard to get banned off Facebook anymore. Can you wear straw hats in the wintertime? You can. It definitely, I prefer felt hats and I wear felt hats all the time because even in the summertime, very rarely do I wear anything but a felt hat. And if I do, it's just a baseball cap, which is not very often, just so you know. All right. So on Facebook, no, it's not on. So the group is not on Facebook. It's actually, you got to go to, it's on School, Skool. But if you go to lifeinthewest.com, which is my website, I put a link for it there. I'm not sure if that's where that community will stay, but for right now, it was very easy to set up so that I can keep it separate from everything. And that's where I'm going to make sure that people are updated on everything. How far from Level, Wyoming? Well, I'm about 350 miles from Level, Wyoming, I believe. From California, welcome. So so when I went on vacation, my wife said that I needed to grow my beard back. So I have a short beard now. I kind of like the short beard better than when it gets long. I'm really gray right here. So just so you know. So we went that I got to be sure that you guys know who I am anymore, because for a while there my identity was stolen so much I didn't know who I was at all. So just want to make sure you know. And I took my old hat and I messed around with it. My dad used to wear a cowboy hat that was shaped in a certain way. It was kind of like, I don't know, a 1970s style. I'll go get it and show it to you, what I did with it. Let's see what you guys think. So I tried to shape it like his. Of course, the top I always leave like mine here. I kind of shape them like I do on my own shaping. Way too cold there. Yeah, you know, it was last week. It was blisteringly hot. We were up in the mountains camping. That's what we do for vacation. And it was so blistering. I was like 90, 95 degrees every day. So I even got in the lake. That's me. I even actually got in the lake. That doesn't happen very often. So this is, oh, you can't really see it because you're too close. But so he had these sides curled up like this. So that's how I did this one like that, just nostalgic. And another thing, yep, that's it. Speed Racer. That's the right channel. That's the one that they hacked. I got it back, but well, because I do this, I have decent internet. It doesn't usually work like this, but this is at my This is at my house. I have decent internet here. I'm thinking of getting Starlink though, because man, if I want to upload anything or see, I've tried to do live streams where I actually use my big camera and stuff, and that it just doesn't work. Also, we are having a Packrat infestation. You know what a Packrat? Do you guys all have Packrats? Because we have, and we've never had a Packrat here. I've never seen a Packrat here. The last time I saw a Packrat was actually when I was a teenager. I saw a Packrat in my dad's tack room growing up. But since then, I have never seen one. And then this year, all of a sudden, they are all over the place. They come up on our back patio here. And our little tiny dog, Chewy, has killed 2 of them. And I just caught another one last night in a trap. I mean, our neighbors are getting them. All of our neighbors have had Packrats, and they've gotten up in my pickup and chewed on the battery stuff. And what do you know, huh? But I think I got them all caught out of there right now. What is a Packrat? So a Packrat is like, It looks like a tiny chinchilla, if you know what a chinchilla is. They're about, I don't know, they're as tall as my hand if they stand up, and then they have a kind of a big furry tail, and they really stink. They probably are muskrats. No, not muskrats. No, muskrats are swimming around in all the ponds around here. They trap them all the time. But no, they call them packrats because they come up next to, they love buildings and they love to store dog food all over the place. So they'll take dog food if you have it, and they'll store it up in your, underneath your car and in your every little nook and cranny. If you have an opening in your wall, they'll store it in there. And it's just incredible what pack rats will pack around. They'll store anything. They'll take apart insulation. What time is it there? It is 7:30. And we have smoke. So right now there's a lot of smoke in the air. There's quite a few forest fires burning around here. That's another thing. I would make more videos on that subject, but nobody seems to ever watch them, so I haven't made any. Let's see. Yeah, love to chew the wires on the equipment, so I got to keep traps out because carry 22 at all times. Yeah, or a shotgun. We used to carry we just carried around a 12 gauge when I was a kid and shot stuff like the rats and mice. It's a little bit dangerous. You got to watch out for the house. It's 8:30 there. Yeah, and it's actually pretty dark here right now. It's fairly, because of we have some clouds and then the smoke, which are blocking some of the sunlight. So yeah, the Forest Service is getting some overtime. Lots of money being spent on fire right now. You don't get me started on that because it's a big deal. What we do in Montana is, well, across the whole West, is people feel that all trees, oh, New York, welcome. People feel that all trees are good. So always more trees, right? And people look out here, see this? And they go, where's all the trees? Well, those are junipers. Those are juniper trees. So they grow in very, very arid, dry places. But pine trees are in the mountains right over there. And we have so many more pine trees than we can actually sustain in Montana that, like the forest I was camping in this last week, is so diseased. Man, the trees are just falling over when you get a windstorm, and then you get forest fires because there's way too many trees, and the forest fires are, then you have to breathe smoke the whole time, the whole summer. And trees have to be managed, and they will be managed. They'll either be managed by fire, or they'll be managed by other means like logging. And if you could log them and selective log the trees, you could keep them healthy forests. But they don't allow that here in the West because environmental groups become lawyers. This is actually the case. They become lawyers, and then they sue every time the Forest Service puts up for bid a forest contract. Hello, Piney Haven Homestead. They put up a contract for bid for cutting timber, and then what happens is these guys sue them. Well, there's something in Montana called the equal opportunity something. I can't remember what it is. I just made a video about this, so it's coming out here pretty quick. I don't think anybody will watch it, but anyway, they can sue the government. Anybody can sue the government, and the government has to pay both sides of the fees, the lawyer fees. So they actually get paid to sue the government. I don't even know if they care about the trees. They get donations from people to stop logging, right? And then they sue the government, and the government pays the lawyer fees, which is actually what they get paid. They get paid from lawyer fees. because they're all lawyers. And then they stop the forest from being selectively logged, and they all get rotten and fall down, and they're actually bad for the environment. They're bad for the animals. They're bad for everything. You know, a long time ago, before we modernized civilization, when the Indians were out here, everything burned off about every 20 years. So that's how the forest became. Oh, oh. So so somebody says they glitched coming in. Is it glitchy right now, or is it okay? You guys getting, I saw this live feed by accident. That's always crap, isn't it? So you guys make sure you go to lifeinthewest.com. That is my personal website, lifeinthewest.com, and click on the button there to join my group on school, so that when I do a live feed or I post any video, then what I do is I post it in there too, and you get notified. You actually get notified. You know, YouTube doesn't notify you every time. Oh, good. So you were waiting and it still didn't notify you. Okay, so well, next time I will post the link to the live feed in the in school, so you guys can click right on it and get in there. Howdy from Sydney. Wow, what time is Sydney, Montana, or Sydney, Australia? There's two of them. No glitches in California. There you go. Is it okay to wear cowboy apparel if you're not a cowboy? So that's a big question, because I get in trouble for not being a cowboy all the time. And it's because I'm like talking to the camera, right? And it depends on what you identify as a cowboy is. There's a lot of interpretations of cowboy. Some people are horsemen and they still call them cowboys. Some people are, you know, riding a rodeo but couldn't move a cow for nothing and can barely ride a horse, and they're still called cowboys. So it's really, I think it's more about you. You know, be comfortable in your own skin. If you want to wear cowboy clothes, wear cowboy clothes, for crying out loud. Some girls will laugh at you. So you need the right cowboy clothes, and you need to make it. So there are a lot of cowboy clothes. If you watched my video on things are cowboy, you will see in there that not all the stuff that is cowboy is actually cowboy. And when you wear that stuff, you will be known immediately. If you haven't watched that, go tell me what you think of that one. I made a video. I bought 10 things on Amazon. I just typed in the word cowboy, and the first 10 things that came up, I just bought them, except for if they were the Cowboys football team, because a lot of Cowboys football team came in. Do not dress like Garth Brooks in the 1990s. Yes. And there's a lot of 1970s clothing that you don't want to put on as far as cowboys too, because there was a lot of stuff back then that isn't really cowboy. It was kind of a what we called, back in the day, we called it drugstore cowboy. We called it drugstore cowboy to wear a hat that was, you know, like this, and you know, the shirt with the arrows on them like this. I mean, it was lots of stuff that, and the little bolo tie. Now, my grandpa used to wear that stuff. So way back when, that was not the case. Things changed, right? I mean, goodness, I'm wearing jeans. I think these are actually Wranglers. Maybe. Yeah, these are Wranglers. So I guess I am wearing Wranglers. Never mind. I was just going to say I used to wear Wranglers all the time, and then I'm not now, but I am. I'm wearing Wranglers now. So I wear Wranglers. Ariats are made in China. Everything's made in China. So I looked for a cowboy on Amazon. Yeah, well, I didn't look for a cowboy. I typed in cowboy. Yeah, cowboy is a way of life. It definitely is. Do I live in Ireland? No, this is Montana. Montana in the United States. And that what you see behind you is just smoke. So this is how we control, how we take care of our land now is just, we just burn it. So we have to breathe smoke. You can even, I can feel it in my throat. It's just a constant nagging, stupid thing that's getting me. But yeah, so real cowboys are rhinestone cowboy. That was another term like in the 90s that we would call rhinestone because they would wear like sequins and stuff, or I guess whatever looked like rhinestone. John Travolta was not a cowboy. Yes, John Travolta was probably not a cowboy. And some parts of my life, I have been more of a cowboy than other parts of my life. Always been around horses, but that doesn't necessarily mean cowboy. You know, we weren't around cows much growing up. If you've watched the video that I made about my parents and kind of how I got to be where I am and their struggles, they lost their farm in the 80s. And my dad was a cowboy. He was like a cowboy's cowboy. Didn't have a lot of experience like training anything. He would just get on a horse and ride it. He grew up in Conrad, Montana, and he would just he just ride anything just because he was brave or because he didn't think about getting hurt. That's possible too. I mean, possible that he wasn't actually brave. He just didn't worry about it until he got hurt, which kind of tells if you. Yeah, it is beautiful here. I mean, it's absolutely gorgeous. I think it's actually starting to rain right now. So there's smoke, blue sky. See the blue sky? And yet it's raining on me. What do you do? I mean, it's one drop every half acre here, but yeah, you know, and I work with computers a lot, so my hands go soft and then calloused again, and then soft again and calloused again, and soft again and calloused again, because if I'm going through a period where I'm doing a lot of editing and not doing a whole lot of cowboy stuff, that definitely changes my hands, that's for sure. Now, this time of year, I live in high desert, so it is pretty dry here, which is why everything is like high fire danger. It doesn't take much to light this on fire right now. We have so many trees, way too many trees, and they're all dried out. So it definitely doesn't take much. Here's what it looks like. Well, you can't see the river, but so over the valley here, this grass is just dried out, and this is called needle and thread. This is, I don't know who's familiar with this. Now, most of you don't care about plants. I understand that. Well, so somebody said in Florida how much cowboy stuff is going on. In Montana, we constantly have to move cows because they're on this. So you can't just leave them there. There's not enough grass growing. It's actually not growing right now. It's just pretty much stagnant. So you just have cows out on grass that you have to move to the next pasture, to the next pasture, to the next pasture, to the next pasture, because they're eating that grass off. So like a break from some of the work is summer. Oh man, no. So summertime in Montana is when everybody that's when everything happens. All the cows are in the mountains. You got to move the cows from here to there and try to get your cows out and around and feed off every bit of grass that you possibly can, so that when you come back in the wintertime to the home place, then you just feed hay. So you're putting up hay. People are farming there, trying to get the cows done as fast as you can. Ranchers take vacations in like January or sometimes in December, because that's when they got their calves away, and it's before their cows start calving. The cows start calving in March, so you have to be around for that. Yeah. So, I mean, right now, and some years are different than others. You can see this good grass here didn't grow very well. Actually, that's needle and thread. Some of the good grass didn't really grow very well. It was really cold up here till late. It was like cold till June. Oh, I'll answer the Western movie thing in a minute. It was cold up here till June, so not a lot of the grass grew, and then a lot of the grass that grew is not the best grass because it grew at the right time. So look at this stuff. This is called needle and thread. You guys have this? If you walk around, these are the seeds, and they call them needle and thread because they stick in your socks. So, or the hair on a dog or anything. They're just like little needles that poke you, and they have this little thread part on them. And so if you just walk through this with a pair of socks and not boots on, you'll just have this sticking out of your sock. It's incredible what this stuff gets everywhere. So I don't have any cows. I just help ranchers all over the place. So I don't have a cow dog anymore either. I used to have a cow dog, and so this is the problem with having a cow dog when you're doing what I'm doing. If you own a ranch or you own a bunch of cows, having a cow dog is extremely important because, like, especially when you're moving cows down in this stuff. I don't know if you can see that. I don't know if I'm even pointing in the right place, but down there along the river, that stuff is so thick. And if you like watch the video where I went and helped on the Boone and Crockett Ranch moving cows in grizzly bear country, those dogs are essential because you can send them into that thick stuff and they can get the cows out of this thick stuff and you don't have to go in there after them. And sometimes there's a grizzly bear in there too, which you don't want to be in there with a grizzly bear. So let the dog do it because the bears can't really get the dogs if you get the right kind of dogs. Yeah, the kids love to swim. So I used to have a cow dog, but the problem with that is when you have a cow dog like me and you go help somebody move cows and they have cow dogs, then you're always dealing with their cow dogs interacting with your cow dog. So it's much better just to not have a cow dog if you're going to be a cowboy and do what I do, because I'm actually, social media, or was going to be social media full time. Anyway, so if I don't bring a dog, then we can just use the dogs of the owner. That works much better. So my daughter does have a little tiny dog. Yeah, so they use Aussies. So it kind of depends on what you're doing. Some people really like border collies. Some people like the Australian shepherds. A lot of people like the healer mixed with an Australian shepherd. That's what they like for dealing with grizzly bears. The healer is a very aggressive dog, maybe sometimes too aggressive. So if you cross it with an Australian shepherd, then it's not as aggressive. But when you're dealing with grizzly bears, they're quick enough that the bears can't get them, but they're aggressive enough to stay with a bear and keep it away from you and keep the cows in the right place. So 2 red and 2 blue. So Pete, you have 2 healers, or 4 healers, I guess. Where are you at? Do you live are you in the north, or are you down? I used to have a healer, a blue healer. He was kind of mean though. you would say he was just a puppy. He was just like as big as your hand. You'd say no, and tap his nose, and he'd growl at you like he was gonna take you on. And he got run over. But a Kelpie, yeah, Kelpies are. I think they're pretty good. Yeah, Australian Shepherd crosses is what I see a lot of up here. The Border Collies work really good on sheep, but sometimes they like to run around the front of the cows and turn them the wrong way. So you really have to work with them about that. But I haven't had a cow dog in quite a while just because of that fact. grew up running horses. So my dad had a horse leasing company. We run 300 and or 180 head of horses, and dogs are very hard on horses. Well, no, that's not true. Horses are very hard on dogs. Let's just say that. They get kicked a lot. It really is hard on them. They usually are missing some teeth and everything. So the time is now, it's almost 8 o'clock. So grass for horses. What's your question there? Pasture puppies, I see. German shepherds. I've never used German shepherds for anything like that. Oh, that is Chewy. So the dog that is with me sometimes in my videos, he is a family pet. He thinks he's big, but he's actually only about, this tall. He weighs like 16 pounds. And he's a Yorkie poo. It even has a terrible name. I mean, like a breed name. But it's my daughter's dog, and I don't know. It's my daughter's dog. She's going off to college this year, so I guess it's going to be our dog now. Oh, the historical videos. So you guys like the historical stuff? No, my wife does not do videos. She doesn't even like to be in the videos. So what do you do when someone looks old and you try to be nice and say they're XYZ range? You know what? Just to tell you something, I was sitting in a McDonald's one time, and I was talking to this older looking couple, and they had a little kid there, and I said, "So, taking the grandson out for supper?" And they said, "Oh no, he's ours." And I was like, "Oh." I don't know what to say after that. I usually just walk away. I have no idea. Put my foot in my mouth. So I have Brokeback Mountain. No, there's none of that up here. Oh yeah, the historical. Love the Lady Shepherd. I'm trying to find more people like her. She is very unique, though. I mean, I think you're talking about the lady in Conrad, Lisa. She's an amazing gal. She runs sheep up there in Conrad, Montana, and really amazing lady. Unique lifestyle. That's subworthy. What's subworthy? Let me know. Do you keep your horses shoed? Yes, we call it shod. We keep our horses shod all summer because it's so rocky here. Now in eastern Montana, so you gotta think Montana is so big. It's it's not as big as Texas, obviously, but it's very, very large. So it's about 700 miles across lengthways, and you have like a third of it is Rocky Mountains. So in the Rocky Mountains, we have to keep our horses shod because it's just solid rock. Everything is rock. It's just rock, rock, rock. In the eastern Montana, it's all sand and clay. So they don't typically shoe their horses, or don't have to anyway. Or are you going to see the backside of my shed? So you can see that this is what the ground is made of here where I'm at. It's just rock. So when as a horse walks over that, you don't have to trim them because they just wear their hooves right off. And then, so we keep shoes on them all year. And then in the wintertime, if we're not using them in the wintertime, we'll take the shoes off and let them run, just so their foot has time to grow and stretch and stuff. But usually they come back in the spring all chipped up, everything. Love the gravelly range. Yes, lots of grizzly bears in the gravelly range. So the guy who teaches cowboying, which one is he? Ruth, if you wouldn't mind. Like, what was he teaching? Well, that's awesome that somebody says they were inspired to buy local beef only. That is, what is your dream horse breed? Calabar. Calabar is my dream horse. Other than the fact that he did buck me off and break my ribs. You can watch that in the video too if you want. But other than that, he has turned into a fantastic horse. He's a lot of horse. Interesting. He's very interesting. He's beautiful. Calabar is beautiful. I don't know if you've seen him in any of my videos, but he's fantastic looking, super intelligent. He's very light on the reins, so he learns quickly. He'll do everything I want him to do now. Sometimes you have to watch him if he's been out for 2 weeks. You don't want to just jump on there and hee-haw, because it will, he can buck if you do that. You got to be careful. But how tall is he? I was just talking to my son about that, and we were arguing. I think he's like just 1 inch under 16 hands. I will have to check, though. He's actually bigger than you think. Bigger than he looks on camera, for sure. Yeah, when he bucked me off and left me 4.5 miles from anywhere. That was not the best, but I did video it. So yeah, you'll have to see Calabar, because I have taken a few videos now over in where we were sorting bulls off the cows. That's a video I haven't edited yet, and he just started to do really well. He's just started to become a real good horse all of a sudden. Yeah, there's a lot of residents from other states around me. Absolutely. This is becoming a place where everybody comes to. So, and that's a very interesting thing, because yeah, when he threw me, it was a great video when I got bucked off. I'm not sure if I mean, it hurt, and it took me so long to recover from it. And so I broke several ribs, I'm sure. I didn't actually go to the doctor, so I don't know. But when you breathe, it would just pop. Oh, you could feel them popping over each other, and they were in the back. So right below my shoulder blade for a couple inches, that's where they were broken, hit right here, and it shoved them back there. And so people, I feel like, people are like, oh, I broke a rib and I went right back to work. Well, I have two. I fell on a log one time and broke a rib and went right back to riding everything, and it hurt, but you could deal with it. These you could not. So I don't know what I broke, but you could not do it. I couldn't even lay down. If I laid down, it was such like breath-sucking pain. It was just like, just like, stabbing up your heart and everything, that I had to get help to get up. And so I had to sleep sitting up in a chair for 2 months. It was a long recovery process, and it took me about 3.5 months to get over that one. So yeah, they don't do anything. That's why I didn't go. I figured I wasn't spitting up blood, and they can't do anything for ribs anyway. When I broke a rib the first time years ago, they didn't do anything. They just sent you home. They didn't even wrap you up anymore. They used to wrap you around your rib cage, but then they had people get pneumonia because they wrapped their rib cage up and they weren't breathing deeply, so they don't do that anymore either. Yeah. Well, we got in the pickup and went and had a burger on the way home. I thought, well, whatever. Ribs are tough because there's no great place. There's no position that's really good with ribs. It's just constant. You breathe, they're moving. You turn, they're moving. You use your muscles just to sit up, you're moving. Everything hurts. So, ooh, brown recluse. You were bitten by a brown recluse? Yeah. So we came home from vacation, and there was 2 rattlesnakes, fairly large ones, on the front porch. They were caught in the little netting that we used to keep the deer out of my wife's peppers on the back porch there. They were caught in that. And there was a packrat underneath the rug on the front door. So he'd crapped everywhere, all over the porch. So that was what we came home to. There was one rattlesnake was still alive, trying to bite everything. and rattle, and the other one was already dead and half eaten. Damn, everything had a, yeah, coughing and sneezing. Man, when you have a sneeze, when your ribs are broken, you're just like, oh no, oh no, oh no. It's bad. It is really bad when you have that happen. So, yes. So somebody asked if I hunt deer and elk. I used to hunt a lot. And so my style of hunting, just so you guys know, is usually getting, what I used to do is I used to take horses up in the mountains with my Uncle Todd. He was my best friend. He was quite a bit older than me, but we got along really well. And what we'd do is take horses, and then in the morning I would get up and I'd go saddle the horses. He'd cook breakfast, and we were always going to get up early and go hunting. And what we'd end up doing is mostly riding around, talking and forever, talking and talking and talking, talking, sitting up on some mountainside talking. And we probably never, we didn't shoot much because that was, you know, most likely because we were talking. Oh, good night, Firefly. Have a great evening. Oh yeah, yeah, exactly. Cracked ribs when you're laughing. When somebody's doing something funny when you have cracked ribs or broken ribs, it's bad. And this one must have been broke. It must have been two of them. I'm thinking, because when you breathed in, you could feel them pop over each other and then pop back. Ugh, man. How often do I see grizzly bears? So grizzly bears are funny because they're all in like certain areas, and it's not just mountainous areas. Where the grizzly bear capital of the world is what I call the grizzly bear capital of the world, is in DePuyer, Montana, which looks, it's just flat. It's just flat and prairie. So this here is pretty deserty. You know, as you can see, it's pretty deserty and not much for trees because it's all rock. So trees can't hardly grow in it except for these junipers right here. And we don't have grizzly bears right here most of the time. They're up in the mountains behind me occasionally. They're just starting to get into this area, but you have a big, very large populations of grizzly bears in certain areas of Montana. So much so that you can, like where I was, where I was in the grizzly bear video, I went up there again this year, and I haven't released that video yet because I haven't edited. But I was like, well, I'm going to go out and see if I can find a grizzly bear, and I found one in 8 minutes. So in certain places, it's not hard to find a bear at all. Hey, from Ronan, good to hear you. Oh, so bears are it says, somebody says there's not a lot to eat. But bears are interesting because they're omnivores or whatever that is. So they eat all kinds of stuff. So they don't eat just meat. Like wolves are tough because wolves are hard to have around. They range way too far. They only eat meat. So they destroy large numbers of elk and deer or cattle and sheep. Grizzly bears aren't as bad in that way because they deal a lot with berries, roots. They eat moths. Certain times of the year, the moths start coming out of the rock slides, and they eat tons and tons of these moths because they're very fattening. So they're just trying to find anything that's a good source of calories. Bears do. So they'll eat anything. In fact, most of the time where you find the grizzly bears is out eating in somebody's grain field. They'll eat the spilled grain or the grain heads, or if somebody's, raising some other crop like potatoes or something like that, they love that kind of stuff. So they do a lot of grazing. Well, if it's very hilly, I would say graze it, but that's just me. I don't know where it's at, but we've gotten in this country so so much to the side of farming everything, and farming is just not right for most ground. We think that we're gonna eat plants and bugs instead of actual meat, and there's so much benefit to the land when you graze cattle or sheep on something. Yes, we have so many grizzly bears. We definitely need them off the endangered species list. We have so many grizzly bears that it's causing a lot of problems with people, interactions with people. And we have a lot of people. We have more people killed and attacked in the last couple of years than I've heard in a long time. What happens though is we have a lot of young bears that are coming out of the mountains and they're heading all the way across the prairies. So actually, if you had a hunting season on grizzly bears, people would go hunt the large boars. The large boar grizzly bears actually kill and eat a ton of the young cubs that are born every year, and the black bears. So technically, I believe if you had a hunting season that was a limited hunting season, which is what they would have anyway, I think you'd probably end up with more grizzly bears because they wouldn't be eating all the babies. They do that to they want to bring the sow back into heat. So they want to kill the babies so she comes back into heat. You know, I hate to recommend a grizzly gun. I think probably bear spray is the right move in a lot of instances first. Now, I don't carry bear spray. Usually I have kids, my kids carrying bear spray, and I carry a 40 Smith & Wesson because it's short, it's very easy to carry, and it's about as big of a bullet as I can carry in a very small gun. It's always a you know, the best gun to turn a grizzly bear would be a shotgun slug, but I'm not going to carry a 14-pound shotgun around every time I'm going fishing or anything like that. So it's one of those things where you have to weigh how much am I willing to carry on my person at all times versus the impact it would have. And then you have bear spray, which is really good, except for if the wind's blowing right in your face, which Montana has a lot of wind. So if you end up with a bear in the wrong place and you have to spray that right into the wind, that is not going to work too well. You're just going to season yourself. So yeah, if you carry a shotgun with slugs, that's fine. You just have to be willing to carry that weight. It's heavy, and I don't like to carry that much weight, so I end up carrying a lighter weapon. Now, if I was gonna live in grizzly country all the time, full time, then I would have dogs, and I would have a healer Australian Shepherd cross. Now, I don't understand the difference in healers, but there's two different healers, and one of them's like, I don't know. There's one that's fairly docile, and the other one that's like mean. But those dogs, actually, having those dogs around, I don't think you'd have any problems with the grizzly bears. I think they would keep them off you. You don't want a timid dog because you don't want the dog to run back to you, and you don't want, you know, something that's too slow. If you get a big dog, some people have these big dogs, which might be okay with a grizzly bear, but you need a really, really quick dog, because if they're not quick enough, a bear will hit them, and then you're done. So yeah, your phone is heavy enough. They've gotten big enough nowadays. Oh, it's hard-sided camping only. Wow. Dude, the brown bears. Yeah, Cody, Wyoming. And that's, you know, personal preference. I always said that you know, at least they wouldn't come in a tent and get you, but then they actually did come on a tent and get a lady up here in Montana. They went in the tent in town and took her out of the tent and killed her. So German Shepherd, smart, but yeah, that's right. Used to have a mean-ass dingo blue healer. Yes, I honestly think some of them are pretty mean. What brand of hat do you wear? It kind of depends. I actually like the brand that I had before, which I'm probably going to go back to. It was an MHT. I kind of like the MHT. So, oh, the Pyrenees have, yeah, they'll probably run off bears. I would love to see, to talk to somebody or do a video with somebody who has Pyrenees guarding their sheep. Pyrenees are the great big white dogs that you saw. If you watch the video with Lisa Schmidt, she's got those. And the wolves might be a problem. If you get a pack of wolves, the problem with a pack is they work coordinated. They'll get coordinated, and I don't know if the Pyrenees would be able to take on a pack of wolves. But so you have Pyrenees, okay? You know, we find a lot of arrowheads. We find a lot of teepee rings. This was boarding a pet healer for a couple. She's clingy and possessive. Akita? What's that? Is that a breed of dog? Yeah, I'm on my phone. I can't. My young male protects them from turtles. Well, obviously, you are not in Montana. Yeah, I'll bet you need more Pyrenees dogs to take care of a pack of wolves. The wolves get, man, they. Oh, okay. What you don't want, this is what you don't want. You don't want any dog that will run up to a bear and bark at it and then run back to you. That's what you don't want, just so you know. Why don't I have any videos? So maybe I should go over this one more time, because people are probably on here that weren't on here in the very beginning. And that is why I haven't been posting in the last couple weeks and what happened to my channel. Because I got hacked. Hang on just a second. I'm gonna. I got hacked. So when I started in January of this year, I decided I was going to go full time for. I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought. Okay. I was going to go full time with social media, do this full time, and stop everything else I was doing, so I could really focus and do a better job on this. I think I got the spammer taken care of, Elthid. I think I got it. We'll see. I tried. But anyway, when I decided to do that, I thought between Facebook and YouTube, I probably have enough income. If I work really hard, I can probably do this full time. And then in March, my Facebook account got hacked. And when it got hacked, the people stole my Facebook page with 285,000 followers and haven't been able to get that back. Facebook hasn't given it back to me. And they probably won't, because they do not. If I would have lost it in an accident, they would give it back to me. But since I was hacked and it was stolen, they won't. So that was half my income. And then I started the school, my community on school. You can go to my website, which is lifeinthewest.com, and click on the link there to join the communities. I started that because I wanted something off of these platforms, just in case something like this happened, that could gather people. But I haven't gathered enough to be able to notify everybody. But then 2 weeks ago, my Google account was hacked. I actually got into my email. I was leaving for vacation, so I was in a hurry. Never do things when you're in a hurry. And I clicked on something in my email that sent my password and everything, probably. I don't know how, but it just sent everything to the hackers in Ukraine or Russia, one of the two. I don't know exactly which one they were in. And I woke up the next morning and my YouTube account was changed to Tesla, and within 6 or 7 hours, Google had shut down my whole YouTube channel. So it took me 1 week to get it back, but it's back, but it's not back all the way. I mean, I have all the videos back. I haven't been able to go through all of them and put them back up to live, but I'm working on that. And then kind of killed all the income. So, because they took my channel down. So by the time Google reinstated it to me, it's not, the algorithm isn't finding it. So you probably aren't getting very many notifications for stuff that I've done, because it's just not getting out there. So I'm gonna have to start all over. So Facebook has a policy, Facebook gave me back my Facebook account. They took the hackers out of there, but they didn't give me back my Facebook page, which had the 285,000 followers on it. No, I didn't see that. Did you see the guy on YouTube that? Oh, yes, I did see. Yes, you're right. I did see that one. Anyway, that is, yeah, you're never going to get it back. So they're still operating it. You can actually steal a Facebook page from somebody. If you steal the page, even with 285,000 followers, Facebook will say, well, since somebody stole it, it's theirs, and they won't help you. If you lose an accident, they will, which is total ridiculous. So I had to start over on Facebook completely. I am up to 22,000, but I can't monetize anything yet on there because of a screw up with the other page. It's showing some weird stuff or something. So for somebody said for income, have you thought of doing something like Dry Creek Wrangler School? What do you mean? Like teaching people how to cowboy and stuff like that? Yeah, oh, well, that's good. Jane just said she's still subscribed. I do think I did get all my subscribers, still on YouTube. That was great. It's just been a couple weeks. I haven't been able to post content or anything. Yeah, he's a great interview. I really enjoyed Dry Creek Wrangler. That was an awesome deal. Yeah, I will think about all kinds of options because I will need to do something for continue to actually have income, because I thought, well, I could probably do this, and then I lost all the income now. So I lost half of it first with Facebook, and now totally lost the other half with YouTube. Hey, I appreciate it, Garden. Yeah, cowboy lessons. Absolutely. That's true. He does have a waiting list. Yes, and I'm going to try to do some how-to videos with Calabar. And I'm going to make a new channel just for that. So it's kind of like a vlogging with like Trinity and Calabar channel, where that's just what I do. So the stuff where I'm riding with, moving cows and, working with Calabar and everything will be on that thing. And I'll post that on here and in my group, so you can follow. I think sometimes YouTube gets confused because I do interviews and then I do vlogging and then interviews and then vlogging. So I'm thinking I probably should separate those out so it doesn't get confused about it. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, thanks, Victor. Appreciate it. I will definitely do my best to show the true American West. Oh, no problem, Wolfpack. I know who it is. Dwayne, um, Dwayne. He's a great guy. Well, I appreciate that. Well, I think I'm going to go in. I'm at 15% battery, so I probably better quit for the day. I will try to do some more lives this week. Again, go to lifeinthewest.com if you haven't already. Lifeinthewest.com. That's my website, and you can join my group there with that button, and then you will actually get notified when I do one of these things or post a new video or anything like that. It's when and I'm gonna do another video hopefully tomorrow, but we'll see. I'm gonna have to do a bunch of editing tomorrow and try to get a video ready for Thursday. But I will try to get back on here live to talk about, you know, people from out of state coming into Montana and you know how that works. What should we do? What is that a good thing, bad thing? All that stuff. Please, can you see the background? You mean you want me to show the background? Yeah, absolutely. So this is, you know, of course it's evening now. I'll leave you with this, but this is the Missouri River down here. There's the Missouri River over there. I'll stop walking so you can see it. This is typical of this part of Montana, all the way out to eastern Montana. You have a lot of sagebrush. These are called juniper trees, which have little tiny, really hard blueberries. You can't eat them. I don't know what eats them. They're just really hard. And it's a hardwood, but they just grow kind of scrubby like this. And sagebrush and grass country. And then along the river bottom, you actually have good soil for farming. So people typically will farm that. And then this, you can't really farm. You know, this is just total rock. And it's pretty quiet if you listen. Just listen to. I don't know if you can hear the semi using his Jake brake going into town. It's about 2 miles that way. But there's a bunch of birds over there. I don't know if it's this quiet everywhere that you guys live, but it's pretty amazing to live in a place like this. You see the sun going down over there. Always looks kind of orangish reddish when it's going because of all the smoke, the forest fire smoke. So kind of changes the color of it. Lots of people moving to Montana. Yes, it was actually more so during COVID years. Actually, in eastern Montana, most of eastern Montana, all the small towns are actually shrinking. They're dying, and the bigger towns like Bozeman, Missoula, Billings, they're growing. So it's kind of the way it goes. All right. Well, I am going to sign off for the evening. Thank you guys for everything you do. Appreciate it. That's why I do this, is for you guys. So have a great night. Okay. If you want to know when I do a live, make sure you go on to and join the, let's see, what's tomorrow? Tuesday? I mean, if I do a live stream during the day, can all of you guys get on a live stream during the day, or is it mostly better in the evening or morning or what for you guys? What's the best time of day for you guys? I'm just waiting here. Evening, okay. Evening. So if I get back on here, I will try to get back on at about 6:45 Mountain Time. Well, let's do 7. So 7 o'clock Mountain Time tomorrow night. I will try to do that. All right. So sounds good. You guys have a great day. God bless. Oh, it's not showing up in Life in the West. You know what? I think I have to put it on. I need to add live stream to the front page so it will be there. All right. God bless. Have a great night. See you guys tomorrow. Bye-bye.